Are you there? Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Sabat Ahmed Khan and I am the co-coordinator at IEEE MU student branch. Today we are presenting the episode 9 of Get on Board to Abroad, and today our guest is Ali Asad Bhai, and he's now in Paris, France. And to give you a brief introduction about Ali Asad Bhai, he did his bachelor's in mechanical engineering from Aligarh Muslim University, ZHCT, and he was a gold medalist with a grade of 9.97. And then he did his masters from France, Paris, from the Institut de Polytechnique, Paris. And today he will be joining. Today he has joined us to tell us more about how to study abroad. Over to you, Bhai.
Thanks for the introduction. Hello, everyone. So I guess I should share my screen. One second. Okay. So, yeah, let me know if you guys can see it.
Ji bhai, it is visible.
Great. So, so hello everyone again. So as was the introduction, my name is Ali Asad. Right now I am in Paris. So this is the Get on Board Abroad to Abroad session of IEEE student branch in AMU. So I would be talking about how to apply for masters in France. In general, what should be your strategy, how you should approach different colleges, and how you select different degrees according to your choice and what you want to do in life for masters. And then maybe I will also talk about what is the procedures, what are the procedures, and how is life in France, and when you come to France, what are the benefits that you get as a student, why it is good for you to choose France, and things like that. So this session, as I was told, is an interactive one. So if you have any questions or doubts, or if you want to stop me at some point and something is not going very clear to you, you can ask questions. It's completely fine. So moving on, so masters in France. So what I'm sure that all of you are doing this degree, which is the BTech, which is equivalent. So when you complete your Bachelor of Technology degree from AMU, it will be equivalent to something about 240 ECTS. So which is 240 European Credit Transfer System. So you have 240 European credits. So after this, you have two options. So one option is like the general masters that we have in India also, like 2 years of MTech or MS. So you can apply for that. But you can also apply for M2, which is the second year of a master's course. So you can directly apply to a M2 course, because here what the education system is that you have every year you have 60 credits. So bachelor's is 3 years only. So that is 180 credits. And then you have M1, so which is equal to 240 credits. And you have already gained your 240 credits by doing your BTech in India. So you can directly come to M2. So it depends on what kind of choice or what kind of thing you want to do. Like if you want to change your field a bit and you think that you should do a 2 year master to have more grip on your subject, then you can go for M1. Otherwise, if you think that no, I want to directly go into research, or I want to be quickly doing a PhD, then you can directly come to M2. So in M2, you will be having only 6 months of coursework, and then you will have 6 months of internship. In M1, you will have 1.5 years of coursework, and then 6 months of internship. So what is important while you are doing a master's in France is the research internship of 6 months that you will do. So I will talk about this research internship later in detail. Also, I have this obligatory Eiffel Tower picture whenever everybody is talking about France. You have to put a Eiffel Tower picture. So that's it there. That's there. Okay. So first of all, the basic, the most important thing is that choosing your masters. So by now, like mostly, I think that when people are in their third year, by that time they know what subject they are more aligned to in their bachelor's program. Not exactly the exact topic, but at least you are a bit like knowing, okay, I like more electronic side of, if you are guys from electrical engineering, or I like more machinery part, or I don't know, I'm not very aware, like high voltage or instrumentation or something, like you know by that time that you like this certain, and this doesn't need to be like fixed. Like you can try doing things in one field, and then at some point of time you decide, oh no, this is not going well, or this is something that I didn't want to do. You can change, but by third year, I think like broadly, you know what field you are interested in, so you can then start searching for masters in that area. That is one point. So yeah, France, you basically more think that, oh, France, so it's everything in French, but no, it's not the case. It's very recent that they have moved to English, like they are more including English courses. So right now there are more than 1,400 master's programs that are taught in completely in English. So all the courses will be in English. Then the good thing about studying in having counseling, having information about studying in France is Campus France. So this is officially French Ministry of External Affairs and French Ministry of Higher Education website. And this particular one is dedicated for India. So Campus France is the official counseling website of the French government. So you can access this website and you will have like from point A to point Z information, everything about how to approach higher education in France. So they will have information about your visa, they will have information about your housing, they will have information about what masters you are going to select, what PhD you are going to select. Sorry, it has almost everything there. So while applying for France, there is always like you go on this website, you select your masters, you choose what field you are going to. There is like filters like normal websites, but a good rule of thumb is that you should try to apply in grand écoles. So grand écoles are not very well defined, but these are like some institutes like which have a name and reputation. And these are the old ones, although they do not believe in such ranking a kind of system, but it is there. Nobody like will show you a list, but it is there. Like every company will hire according to which college you are coming from. So always try to apply in grand écoles, which is the École Normale Supérieure, which is and these colleges are like in every city of France, almost every city, big cities in France. And then you have École Polytechnique, which is only in Paris, and then you have EMT, which is IMT. So IMT is like institute means tech, but it's like it has everything, like all the. So it was initially for mines, but like now it has everything. So and these IMTs are also so try to apply in grand écoles, like when you are finding an research internship, when you are finding a job, it's always easy if you are from a grand école. So yeah, then you select your masters, what you want to do. Then this comes the time of applications. So applications usually start around this time, like mid of December. And the earlier you apply, the better it is. Always is the case for every year. I know many students are applying for US and And by this time, I think the US applications are ending. So it's always good that you have some time to, and you have already have like materials like CV, you have your statement of purpose and everything. So you just put in everything here. There is no application fee for most of them, so which is a good thing. So you can just apply, keep on applying. And then also there is like many students miss on giving some standardized tests like GRE, TOEFL, or IELTS. So for those students, it's a very good opportunity because most of the colleges, they don't require these kind of tests. What they will require is that you have a medium of instruction, which is English. So you can easily get this certificate from, I guess, registrar office somewhere, that all the courses in your engineering that you followed were in English. So this certificate works fine in most of the cases. I'm also saying that this is not the most general case. Like is the most general case, but it's not. It will not be everywhere. There can be some college or some institute that may ask for your TOEFL score, but you can always have another option. So this is what I wanted to tell you. For your applications, I guess that what are the things are very general that you need to have. You need to have a CV, which is you have different formats and everything, so which is well prepared. You should have a statement of purpose, which is important because as you can see, there are no tests, so now a statement of purpose becomes more important. So that should be very on point, very much on point. One more thing is that, as is the convention with US and Canada, that you need to contact some professors and like you need to have some contacts with the professor, and before applying, then only you have chances of getting in. This is not exactly the case here because the masters is like quite very open. Anybody can apply. You don't need to have a professor say in anything because the scholarships that I will talk about are very general. Like there is no scholarship as like some professor is providing you with some money. It's very common and open, so you can just directly apply. Talking to professor thing will come, but it will not come when you are applying for masters. It will come when you are applying for research internships, like for your master's thesis. So at that point, these things come. Okay. So about scholarships, there are many scholarships available when you are applying for masters in France, which I would say are very good in general. Like you will save money, to be honest. Then you have both the options of government scholarships and company scholarships. So government scholarships are like some Sharpak scholarship or IFL scholarship, which are like French government or Indian government collaborative scholarships. You also have some scholarships which are company scholarships. Like many companies, most of the companies in France, as a matter of fact, are heavily involved in research in different in universities. So they have a lot of scholarships funding students there. So you can always get a company scholarship in a college. Then you have again the one. This Campus France is a wonderful website. It has a section of it dedicated to scholarship, which is Campus Bourse. So I think I have a message. So this is one website where you can have everything. Is there a chat or message?
Bhai, we will have a Q&A session after the presentation.
Okay. Cool. That's great. Okay. So I was talking about scholarships. So yeah, so this is Campus Books, where you can have like a list of all the possible scholarships. There are some scholarships which are only available for certain courses or certain colleges. So you can have the list here. Like it's very well organized and everything. So it's the best to go there and just find out for yourself what is good for you. Then again, apart from scholarships, you have a lot of student benefits when you are studying in France. So students have a right to have a rent subsidy, which is called the CAF, which is usually 40% of your rent. And if you are a scholarship student, the subsidy increases. So you will get even more subsidy. So you have the rent subsidy, then you have the health insurance, which is the social security. So all your medical bills will be reimbursed. You can go to you can visit a doctor without having to worry about paying. So that's there. So that's free. And then you have subsidized transport cards, like when you are traveling. So the age of 26 is the, in most of the European countries, is the definition of adult. Like until you have the age of 26, before that you are not an earning adult. So you are still a student. So you will get all these benefits. Like these are almost 50% subsidized transport cards. Like all of the city, you will get one card and you can travel. And then what is good for Indian students, when you complete a master's degree in France, that you can get up to 2 years of job search visa. So even just after your master's, you are not sure what you want to do, maybe a PhD or look for a job, you can still stay in France for 2 more years. And for these 2 years, you will still be getting CAF, you will still be getting health insurance, you will still be getting some unemployment benefits. So, which is good. Okay, so then I will come back to the research internships. So which is the most important thing that is like you have to struggle for a bit when you are doing a master's in France. So this research internship is usually of between 4 to 6 months, and it is whatever you do during this internship is your master's thesis. So mostly, like, these research internships have to be paid by law because it is more than 2 months. So and it's like and there is also a minimum wage for this. So you won't be paid like something very minuscule. You will be paid good amount of money to survive, apart from all the scholarship that you will be getting. So this is on top of that. So you will be paid for this internship. But what is important is like finding and selecting the right internship for you. So this internship will decide a lot of things. So first, you can do this internship in a company or in a laboratory, like of the university. So this choice usually aligns with like whether you want to do a job after your master's or whether you want to do a PhD. So when you are looking for a PhD, it's more advisable, or you want to go in academics, it's more advisable that you do your 6-month internship in a university laboratory, because most of the cases, like when I say most, it's like almost 80 to 90% of the cases that you will continue doing your master's thesis as your PhD. Like just they will offer at some point of time in your internship, they will offer you a PhD. Or there are many internships in which in the offer letter of the internship, it's already written that you can continue it as a PhD. So that's 3 more years. So that you can, so this is like the more important part than getting into masters. Like when you are in masters, this internship thing is really important, and you look for a good internship aligned to your interest and everything. And sometimes it could be difficult to find an internship. So like you really have to put an effort in finding internships. Especially if you want to do it in a company, then there are many job fairs, sometimes organized by your college. So basically this is basically the placement of colleges. So they don't have placements for like directly a job. They have placements for these internships. So many companies will come to the college and they will offer like different internships, and then it can be converted into a job after you finish your internship. So this is there. Then you have something which is called CIF. So CIF is like so which is here. This is something very special about French education, I would say, is that you can still do a PhD while working in a company. So this is something interesting, is that you start your internship in a company, and at some point of time, maybe they will offer you a CIF. So CIF is a PhD in which the company will come in collaboration with any university, and they will collaborate on a project, and for that project you will do a PhD with them. So you will be employed by the company, but you will still be a student of the university. So which is kind of very interesting kind of thing. And obviously the fellowships are much higher than when you are doing a PhD in only in a university. So this is something which is good here. And if you really want to work in a company after your PhD, it's the best thing to do. Okay, I guess my journey so far is that I completed my M2 master's degree in fluid mechanics from Ecole Polytechnique, which is one of the grand ecoles here. So when you are from the grand ecoles, it becomes much easier. That's why I emphasize on it, to find an internship in a good place or in a good laboratory. So and you have more options for your internships. So after completing my coursework here, I started my internship in a company which is called Total Energies. So they have a R&D lab which is very near to my college. So I did my internship there. At some point of time doing my internship there, I was offered a PhD SIF. So I was offered this PhD in collaboration with my college and the company. So my college has this lab called CMAP and Total Energies. So yeah, you can say that I'm employed by Total Energies, but I'm a student at Ecole Polytechnique. So this is some kind of PhD that I will be starting like in from January. So yeah, that's the story so far. Thank you everyone for listening so attentively. And yeah, I'm very sure that you must be having a lot of questions. So I'm here to answer.
My first question is Mohammed Zubair is asking, is it mandatory to learn French?
Good question. So yeah, it is obvious. It is not mandatory on papers anywhere officially. There are many foreign nationals who are living in France and they do not speak French, but it's kind of thing that you are living in a place and you are listening. Even like in India, when you travel from one state to another, you kind of have the accent. Even it's Hindi, but the accent changes. So you are listening every day, so it comes. But yeah, French is a language, a different language. Why I would say is like unwritten rule that you should try to learn it is like when you are finding internships. Some of the internships are intended to offer you a job, and they would want someone who speaks French because they want to offer a job also after the internship. So in that scenario, you might be like you might have a disadvantage if you don't know French. I won't say that you have to like learn 100% French because it's difficult to learn French. To be honest, it's really difficult. But then you need to learn French on for doing your day to day. Like for Paris, it's not that important because a lot of international people are living here. But when you are in other cities in France, you are going to buy coffee, you are going to buy groceries, you have some mailman coming to your house and nobody speaks English. So it's practical to learn French. That's the only thing. But for your education, as far as your education is concerned, your master's degree is concerned, you don't need it. But it's always good to know some French at least.
Okay, bhai, next question. Mohammed Arif is asking, what about the cost of living in France?
So cost of living is affordable completely because I told you about the benefits that you have. So if you get a scholarship, the scholarships are designed or are calculated in a way that the student is able to afford it. The only problem comes when you are living in Paris because it's like crazy expensive. So sometimes you have to do some part-time jobs to suffice, but in most of the cases it's completely okay. So like, but by Paris I means like center of Paris, but like for me, I'm in south of Paris, which is completely okay to live in because my college is here and the rent is high and everything, but you get rent subsidy. That's why I told you, you get rent subsidy, and everything is calculated according to your social security index. So you have a index of your social security. So if you're not earning so much, you will get more subsidy. So it's not the same for everyone. So it's like that. So it's like I would say it's manageable. Like if you get a scholarship, you don't have to spend anything.
Okay, bhai. Next question, Mohammed Zain is asking, what does French institutes emphasize on for admission? Academics, research paper, extracurricular, or is it rounded wholesome like US universities?
Uh, so it's you can say it's a bit like on all the things, but as I told, there are no standardized tests, so the screening is a bit different. So of course, when like you when the second level comes, when you have a research paper or something, but not exactly a paper, but even conference is good. Like at least you can talk about something in your statement of purpose or in your CV. When you have something like that, it always adds an advantage. So yeah, if I don't know like which year you are in, but if you are in third year, try to have something, at least a project, a good project. Your final year projects are a really important thing, especially like if you get an admission, and when you are, especially when you are looking for internships. These internships, they will have good, like they will interview you, and they will ask about the things that you have done in your bachelor's, not so much about the subjects that you have studied, but more about the things that you have done. And they will have an idea from that what work you have done. So you should try to do like some substantial kind of thing in your project, BTech project, final year project, so that you have something to show. On top of that, if you will have a publication or a conference paper, it's great. Like it will certainly help. Like I will not discourage anyone if they are planning to do this, a conference paper or a publication. You should certainly do it if you have something planned, because it will help. I hope I
Okay,
answered.
okay, bhai. Next question, Mohammed Zubair is asking, universities in France don't provide accommodation.
Mm.
It's his question.
Yeah, so it depends really, because some universities do. Like for my case, I got a accommodation in my college, but it's difficult to get because there are more people and less space. There are also some government accommodations which are called cruise. So you pay like something 92 euros, and you come, like you become a member of an organization which is for students, government organization, and you can ask them for accommodations, and they are cheap. Then even if you don't get that, so it all depends on when you are getting admitted. So if you are an early admit, you will have more places, more options for accommodations. Then finally, you have many private student residences, so you can ask for accommodation there. And as I already said, you have a rent subsidy, so you don't have to worry too much about it. It will work. But yeah, it's true that all colleges don't provide accommodation, but it's not very difficult to find an accommodation. It's there are many options. I would say, especially near a college, there are a lot of options to reside. So it's not. But the thing is that in PhD, nobody gives accommodation, because PhD is seen as a job here. So you are not exactly a student, because you are being paid every month. So most of the universities will ask you to find accommodation outside. But this cruise thing that I told you is you are still paying this 92 euros every year. So you can still have their accommodations while you are in a PhD. So you will not exactly get accommodation inside of the university, but you can get accommodations. So yeah, that's it. Like it's not a big problem, I would say.
Okay. Khalik Mahmood is asking, if one has a 3-year degree in graduation, can he do masters in France?
Yeah, so I as I told you, like when you have 3-year degrees, you have something which is around 180 credits. So you have only option to apply in M1. so which is Masters 1. So you can't directly come to M2. So for my case, I directly came to M2. I did 6 months of coursework and 6 months of internship. But when you have 3 years of bachelor's, then the only option for you is M1, and you come into an M1 course. Then you and M1 and M2 are completely separate here. Like if you are doing an M1 from one college, you can completely change your college and go to even a different country to do your M2. And for internships also, like it's not necessary to do your M2 internship in France. You can even go to US if you are able to find an internship there. But you can do it in all of Europe, like wherever you want. So it's very open. So yeah, but in that case, when you have a 3 years degree in India, you will have to apply to M1. You can't directly come to M2.
Okay. Muhammad Amir is asking how much you spent till now in masters.
By spent like money.
I guess.
Yeah, I think the only money I spent was for my visa processing and like some initial rent, I guess. Like you have to give some deposit when you are coming. It was very less because it was like university accommodation, so it was, yeah, okay, it was 300 euros. But yeah, and yeah, after that, like I started with I started getting money. So like total plus, like I have saved, I would say. But yeah, in the beginning you might have to spend some. So that's like if you are worried about that. So yeah, it's true that in the beginning, I think like for Indian rupees, 3 lakhs, I would say. You should have like, but in some cases when you get a really early scholarship, uh, you will get it back like really quickly. Even they pay for the flight ticket and everything. So but there might be a chance that you are paying in the beginning, like in the beginning you have to pay, but you will get it back quickly, like. So yeah, no money spent, to be honest.
Okay. Next, Muhammad Zubair Ali is asking what are the things to focus on as a second year student if we plan to do a master's from abroad, especially Europe?
Okay, so yeah, as somebody asked, like, yeah, I'm again telling you that no standardized tests, so you don't have to worry so much about that. But at least try to maintain a decent CGPA, which doesn't have to be like more than 9 or something, but like, yeah, 8.5 is good, I guess, or above 8 is also good. I have a lot of friends who had like, who are in US, who are here. They had like, so I can't really make a rule because I know people who were like 7.5 or 7 and they are still here. So it's like, and it's not like a weird thing to say, like it happens. And so can't make a rule on that, but it's always good, like always advantageous to you if you have some decent CGPA. So doesn't hurt, to, to be honest. Then of course, when you are second year, try to find your interest, your what because there are, as I told you, 1400 plus masters only in France. So you will have like multiple options. So you need to know that what exactly you want to do. So try to find your interest, try to find your strong points, subjects that you can do some good project in. And then in as you advance in your engineering, you can do some start doing some projects. Like it's good if you have, like it's a good time in second year to explore your branch. Like you are introduced to your branch now, so try to explore different things. And then in third year, try to do some projects with some professor, and maybe have a conference or publication by the final year, so that you have, when you are applying, you have something to show. So that's it, like take it easy, but like have the goal in your mind. That's it.
Okay, next question. Abdur Rahman Khan is asking how to find French professors for internship, because in Charpak exchange program, in the first step is
Mm.
to find professors and get offer letter.
Okay, so French education system, is a bit weird. So here the professors are not exactly, they are employed by the university, but they do not come in the ecosystem of that. So for finding professors, you will have to find the lab first, that which lab you want to do your PhD. Like, so most of the colleges, when you go, and they don't really have a faculty page or like department wise faculty page, so it becomes really difficult to find a professor in France. So what my advice is, like, when you are trying to find a professor, try to find some publications, then see which laboratories they are coming from, and then go in that laboratory and find the professor. Like, labs are important, so mostly the professors are more inclined towards their lab than the universities. So find a laboratory and you will find the professor. That's my advice if you are trying to find a professor for some special scholarship.
Okay, bhai. Mohammad Amir is asking, research paper or project, which one is more beneficial for the selection criteria in masters?
Okay, so when I say research project or like research paper or project, I would say, like, try to make a story for yourself. That's the best thing. Like, okay, if you are showing, okay, I tried to do research, like I was in second year and I found this subject interesting and I tried to do research in it, and I did this kind of research, and then this got into like more, like this became substantial, and then it got into a research like paper, then it makes sense. But when you are like all of a sudden you have, oh, I have this paper, but how did you arrive to this paper? You, if you don't have anything to say about it, then it doesn't make sense. So it should be like that, like you did some work on some topic and then the paper came along, not like you're just like sitting and some paper came along. So you should have something on that, and if that makes sense, like even if you don't have a paper, but you say, oh, I found this topic really interesting and I started working on it, and it doesn't have to be that you are exactly applying for that topic. Like, you have done something in your bachelor's, like you have worked on something, you found some subject and you found it interesting and you did some substantial work on it. It turned out to be a paper, well and good. But even if it didn't turn out to be in a paper, you have some project to show. So you need to just talk about it in your statement of purpose. So focus on that, focus should be on that, that you can tell a story with your work. That is more important, I would say.
Okay, bhai. I
uh,
think we have discussed all the important questions.
uh,
Now I would like to call Sakib to give the vote of thanks. Over to you, Sakib.
Thank you, Sabad Bhai. Good evening, everyone. This is Saqib Masood, co-coordinator of Industry Interaction and IEEE member. For the ninth and the last episode of the MS series, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Ali Asad Bhai for sparing time from his busy schedule with us. Thank you, Bhai, for sharing with us the information and experience that you have gathered over the years. I would also like to thank a wonderful audience for their active participation and encouragement that further pushed us to hold this series. We have successfully completed 9 episodes in the series, having guests from around the globe sharing their journeys to esteemed universities. I would also like to thank IEEE Student Branch, IEEE Women Affinity Group, and IEEE AMU, without whom this series would not be possible. No matter wherever we go, a small part of us always remains in the university. On that note, I would like to play a small part of the beautiful Tarana. Thank you.
So yeah, thank you to the organizers, and thank you everyone.
Yeah.
And if you still have some more questions, you can always reach me on LinkedIn, I guess. Yeah, you have shared maybe my LinkedIn. You can, I guess it's on LinkedIn, so you can always approach me there, and I would be happy to answer your questions there. So yeah.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
Saqib, stay there. साकिब, आपके एग्जाम सारे खत्म हो गए?
नहीं मतलब कौन नहीं, अभी तो मिड सेम वगैरह चल रहे हैं वैसे तो, मतलब यहाँ एमयू में नहीं, अभी तो नहीं हुए एग्जाम स्टार्ट।
अच्छा, आप लोग एग्जाम अभी खत्म नहीं, मतलब अभी स्टार्ट ही नहीं हुए?
मिड सेम नहीं।
अच्छा, चलिए फिर बात होती है, यहाँ पे कंक्लूड करते हैं, खत्म करते हैं फिर।
ओके ओके ओके, ठीक है, थैंक यू।
एक काम कीजिए, मुझे कॉल कर लीजिएगा रात में 9 बजे के बाद।
ठीक ठीक ठीक, कर लूँगा।
फिर मैं
ठीक है, अल्लाह हाफिज़।